Hey, Internets. Glad to be here in Torrance, California. I'm participating or attending the Robinson Pilot Safety course. This is the end of day one. It's been an awesome experience. I'm kind of taken aback by, I guess I didn't know what to expect. I guess I thought it'd be kind of marketing-ish or kind of polished or um, I don't know what I was expecting. But I guess right from the get go, doors open, you get in, you get registered, and kind of get sit there. Once we sat down, Curt Robinson's at the front of the class and just kind of addressing everyone and sets the tone for the day and the whole class. And I thought it was really cool that, when I think about having run my own business and all the pressures and everything, when you think about Curt Robinson taking the time every Monday to address the class for an hour, clearly this is not something that they take lightly. So, for all of the crap that Robinson takes around safety and on and on and on, and all the things that people say on the internet about safety, when the CEO comes up and spends an hour with every class at the beginning of each week to set the tone for safety, I thought that went and just spoke volumes. And he said some really just awesome things that spoke to me and my mission. He talked about the type A personality, and he said, all helicopter pilots are type A people. And he says, I know that because, of what they have to go through to accomplish their helicopter rating. He says it's a lot more work than a fixed wing or other types of ratings. He says, so that works for you because you accomplish this amazing thing. You get to fly an amazing aircraft, he says, but it also works against you because of, the temperament of a type A personality. And he says, so let's not kid ourselves that, we're strong-willed people and that we want things our way. And so, he talked about judgment of a safe pilot, those types of things. So it was really kind of cool that Curt Robinson started the session with safety, setting the tone, kind of breaking down their mission and their intent for the training. So, he kind of started by saying helicopter pilot's the number 3 most dangerous occupation, according to a study. And he says, ice fishing up in Alaska or crab fishing up in Alaska and some sort of roofing occupation and helicopter pilot. And he said, so let's not kid ourselves. But then he followed that up by saying that, 90% of the accidents are pilot error. And so he says, the good news is, as a pilot, we're in control of that safety and we're in control of that risk. And he says it kind of like hurts him, or it baffles him personally that, year after year after year, they're seeing the same type of accidents. They're wire strikes, they're weather issues, they're things that we have control over as pilots that, we don't improve. So it was kind of a really powerful call to action for us as pilots, to hear. And again, from Curt Robinson, that was cool. So, and he said that, safety isn't a matter of skill, but a matter of judgment. And for all the research that they've done and what they see is that, it rarely comes down to a matter of skills, that the pilot didn't have the skills to execute a maneuver. It was that the pilot did not show proper judgment. And given my mission of flying with my family and flying and operating safely with my family, that really spoke personally to me. That it's my responsibility to make sure that my judgment is never off, that I always exert that proper judgment. The other thing he said that was really cool is he said, when I'm flying with friends or when I'm flying with my family, he says, when I fly with my wife, he says, that person sitting next to me relies on me 100%. That I'm making a wise decision, that it's a good day to fly. So if your family comes up to you and says, or your friend comes up to you and says, hey, is it a good day to fly? And you say yes, they have no part of the decision-making process. That as a pilot, they're relying on you 100% to make that decision. And so I was thinking about, flying with my family, flying with my kids. And, if my kids come up and say, "Hey, Daddy, is it a good day to fly?" They don't have any buy-in on the decision-making process. And so, they went through and broke down times when pilots had said, "No, it's not a good day to fly," and then they were influenced by people "Oh, come on, we can fly," or "Oh, is it really that bad?" or "Oh, come on, let's fly." And the number of times that the pilot was influenced into a flight that they shouldn't have taken, that from the get-go they knew they shouldn't have taken, that ended in a disaster. So, setting those minimums, sticking to them, and saying that that the pilot, that the passengers rely 100% on the pilot and have no say in that. So they just said a lot of really good things throughout the training that spoke to my personal mission. Me as a pilot, it was also again profound to go around the room, and it was CFIs and commercial operators and CFI and CFI and CFI, and again to be one of a very few pilots who have a personal mission around helicopter aviation really stood out to me as just a big blessing that I get to go fly helicopters personally. And one of the things that was in an article that they pointed to, they said as a pilot that generally margins of safety don't increase, utility increases. And what they meant by that was that, as a pilot, as we push our skills and as we push our skills to a higher and higher level, like instrument or commercial or whatnot, that rather than getting more margin of safety, we use the utility of the aircraft more. We're flying in conditions we normally wouldn't fly, airspace we wouldn't fly, or conditions we normally wouldn't fly. And so, or we wouldn't have flown in previously as a lower time pilot. And they said, so the concept being that as experience increases, we get more utility out of aviation, which is great because aviation is incredibly expensive. And that's how we drive the economies to where we need it to be more economical. One of the cool things I took away from that is since I have a personal mission around flying, I looked at that as a great opportunity to actually drive the opposite, where I can drive increased utility, or instead of driving increased utility, I can drive increased margin of safety, because I'm not looking to increase profit. I'm not looking to increase mission load or those typical things that commercial. And so what I out of my increased proficiency is increased margin, where a lot of pilots may not be able to do that. So already at the end of day one, really profound experience. Really enjoying the class. We took a tour of the factory. Really neat facility. Open kimono. They shared a lot of just good information. One of the employees is taking the course, so again, it definitely seems like they're eating their own dog food. It's not something that it's, well, yeah, go take this course, but I mean, they're putting their own people through the course. Curt's up there at the front of the course at the beginning. It definitely seems like, practice what you preach, and certainly part of the company culture. So it was really a neat day from that perspective. I took away just pages of notes that were, really good, just synopsis of things to go, reference material to go dig deeper on, things to study, and things that applied to just my type of flying, my type of mission, just really good stuff that I can go and apply to my type of flying, go back and change flying and tweak the type of flying I'm doing today. So really good stuff. So, just really profound, recommend it. So, having a good time and meeting good people and good pilots, and plus, I got to say the atmosphere is fantastic. You're at break time, you're standing there and looking out the back windows, and, you see 15 helicopters on the ramp taking off and being test flown, and all of the amount of helicopter traffic at the Torrance Airport is something to behold. So, all of the test flights and the ferry flights, and the amount of flights coming in and out of that airport that are helicopter flights are really really cool. So it's just a neat setting. neat thing to experience. So if you have the opportunity, I'd recommend it. If I have time tomorrow, I'll put some more thoughts about tomorrow. Um, but anyway, I'm enjoying it, enjoying Torrance, enjoying the Robinson factory and the pilot safety course. So thanks for watching.